Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing something really cool. We're completely mapping out the machinery behind national athletic success. We're going to explore India's entire sports, health, and physical education landscape right from the ground up, and actually uncover how this massive ecosystem all connects together. But first, let's ground this in reality for a second. How exactly do you go from kicking a ball around a dusty school playground to standing on an Olympic podium with a gold medal around your neck? It's a pretty fascinating question, right? Because national glory absolutely does not just happen by accident. It takes a highly organized, super intricate network of agencies, institutions, and recognition systems to spot that raw talent, nurture it, and ultimately reward it. All right, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the educational foundation. Second, the training crucible. Third, yoga institutions. And finally, the pinnacle of recognition.
Okay, starting with part one, the educational foundation. This is where it all begins.
You know, before anyone is out there setting world records, they're usually just a kid sitting in a classroom. This is exactly where physical education and health awareness start for the vast majority of people. A major player here is the CBSE, or the Central Board of Secondary Education. The roots of this board actually stretch all the way back to 1921 under Rajapana jurisdiction. It evolved through a joint board in 1929, got its current name in 1952, and was officially reconstituted in 1962, and that was specifically to serve the educational needs of central government employees who had those frequently transferable jobs. Now, over the decades, CBSE has been absolutely instrumental in prepping syllabi on health and physical education. In fact, since the late 1980s, they've been running competitive sports clusters for all of their affiliated private schools.
Then, of course, we have the NCERT, which was set up by the government of India in 1961. This setup brilliantly illustrates how a massive apex body basically divides its heavy lifting to cover every single base of a student's development. For example, the NIE handles the big picture national curricular policy right in Delhi, while the CIET drives educational media and technology. Over in Bhopal, the PSSIV focuses strictly on vocational education, and to make sure teachers are actually prepared to teach all of this, Regional Institutes of Education, or RIEs, are strategically spread out across cities like Ajmer, Mysore, and Shillong. Crucially, as a follow-up to the National Curriculum Framework in 2005, the NCERT made health and physical education a compulsory subject from Class 1 all the way to Class X. That is the bedrock upon which everything else is built.
Moving on to part two, the training crucible. Shaping Indian sporting talent.
So, what happens when a student shows, really exceptional promise? Well, we shift gears. We move out of the standard classroom and step into specialized training grounds where that raw, unpolished talent is literally forged into elite athletic skill. And honestly, you simply cannot talk about sports training in India without bringing up the Netaji Subhas National Institute of Sports, or NSNIS, located in Patiala. Established on May 7, 1961, at the Motibagh Palace, it is rightfully known as the Mecca of Indian sports. It's Asia's premier institute for churning out high-caliber national coaches. Basically, if an athlete is gearing up for a major international competition, there's a very good chance they're relying on a coach who earned their diploma or master's degree right there. Now, working right alongside NSNIS is the Sports Authority of India, or SAI, which kicked off in 1984. The incredible scope of their grassroots outreach is entirely designed to catch budding sports stars before they slip through the cracks. Through initiatives like the National Sports Talent Contest and the SAI Training Centers, they're constantly hunting for young ability. Then you've got these highly ambitious programs like Special Area Games and the Center of Excellence, which take that raw ability and really refine it. They even run the Army Boys Sports Company in association with the Indian Army. Across all these schemes, they're providing equipment, kits, stipends, and expert coaching. It's just a massive, comprehensive safety net ensuring talent is actively nurtured. All right, part three, institutions of yoga education, mind and body. Because, let's be real, physical training is only half the equation. Prepping the mind is just as vital as physical stamina when you're competing at the elite level. There are 10 major institutions working tirelessly to promote yoga across the country. We are talking about highly specialized, world-class centers spanning from the Ramamani Iyengar Memorial Yoga Institute in Pune to Patanjali Yoga Peeth in Haridwar, the Bihar School of Yoga in Munger, and SVSA in Bengaluru. And these aren't just places for a casual drop-in stretch, right? These institutions provide rigorous, in-depth courses. They prepare the mind and body for absolute peak performance, perfectly complementing the physical education strategies we were just talking about.
And that brings us to part four, the pinnacle,
The National Sports Awards.
This is the absolute climax of our explainer, and truly the peak of an athlete's journey. Every single year, the government of India bestows the country's highest sporting honors. First up, we have the Dronacharya Award. Instituted back in 1985, this award comes with a beautiful bronze statuette, a scroll, and a cash prize. But notice who it's actually for: the coaches. Just as Dronacharya was the legendary guru to Arjuna, this award recognizes the eminent coaches who have consistently done meritorious work to raise the standard of our athletes to the highest international levels. Behind every great medal winner is a guru who pushed them there.
Then, we have the legendary Arjuna Award itself, instituted way back in 1961. When it comes to the Arjuna Award, the criteria are incredibly strict. You can't just have one lucky day on the field and take this home. The revised guidelines state that an athlete must have consistently performed with excellence at the international level for the previous 3 years. But even that isn't enough. They also have to display outstanding qualities of leadership, sportsmanship, and a profound sense of discipline.
Now, a really crucial point here is understanding the difference between these honors. The distinction mostly lies in the timeline. While the Arjuna Award demands that strict 3-year track record of current excellence, the Dhyan Chand Award, which was instituted in 2002, is a Lifetime Achievement Award. Named after the hockey maestro himself, Major Dhyan Chand, it honors veteran sportspersons who not only achieved greatness in their prime, but who continue to actively contribute to the promotion of sports long after they've retired from active competition. And these awards are all presented every year on August 29th, which is celebrated as National Sports Day to mark Major Dhyan Chand's birthday.
But wait, what about the university level? Get this, a massive 10 lakh rupees is on the line. That's the recently enhanced cash prize for the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, or MAK trophy. Instituted in 1956, this rolling trophy goes to the top overall performing university in the inter-university tournaments. That massive financial incentive shows you exactly how high the stakes really are for promoting competitive sports at the collegiate level.
We also can't forget the folks who push human limits way outside your traditional stadium. The Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award, instituted in 1993, honors individuals excelling in extreme adventure activities across land, sea, and air. Named after one of the first 2 people to ever summit Mount Everest, it just proves that excellence in this ecosystem isn't confined to a pristine track or a manicured field.
So we've essentially traced the whole path today, from the school boards like CBSE and NCERT, straight through the intense training crucibles of SAI and NSNIS, grounded it with yoga institutions, and celebrated at the pinnacle of the National Sports Awards. It's a vast, beautifully structured ecosystem. But let me end by throwing the ball back into your court. Which of these agencies can help you promote your own abilities in games and sports today? Whether you're an aspiring athlete, a future coach, or just a deeply curious learner, this ecosystem is out there waiting to be leveraged. Think about how you can plug into it. Thank you so much for joining me on The Explainer today, and keep learning.